What's going on, everyone? John here, the Wolf of Ecom. In this video, I'm going to talk about the main things you need to succeed in e-commerce and dropshipping in 2021. But before we start, and I drop the bombs, the value bombs that everyone says, it's always silly, make sure to hit like, make sure to subscribe, and if you get something from this video, please leave a positive or negative comment. Engagement does help either way with the algorithm. So unfortunately, the first thing you will need is to have multiple Facebook profiles, because even if you're following all the rules, even if you are shipping out of the US with inventory out of your own home or maybe your mom's basement, I don't know, I'm not judging you, you will most likely run into some kind of issues, whether it be banned ad accounts, banned business managers, or maybe even your profile is permanently restricted. So the reality of the matter is you need to have multiple profiles, and the best way to do this, I put together many videos about this. I actually have free resources if this is your biggest problem, because honestly most people are struggling not so much with finding winning products right now, because most people are struggling with not being able to advertise right now. So I put together two really awesome resources you will see in the link in the description with this video. Both, one is going to be more of a walkthrough guide that's going to show you exactly what I do to build up a system like this, where I have countless profiles, to count exactly probably about 70 profiles, all with business managers, or most of them at least, and many of them verified as well. Okay, this is super essential. Nothing else matters after this in this video if you do not have this system in place, because you will not be advertising, at least not on Facebook. Okay, so Facebook is not in the plans for you, in the cards. It should be. It's still king. There's no better platform out there than Facebook, hands down. Love my Pinterest, love my Google, but Facebook is going to be the most scalable, even with the iOS update and all these other headaches. Okay, it is absolutely worth the trouble, and a lot of people are getting out because it is so hard, which means there's more advertising space for you. Okay, so cheaper CPMs, cheaper costs to reach more people is always a good thing, and that is the direction hopefully this is going to go. Okay, so building out a system like this, you want at least 10 profiles. I talk about this in those resources I have in the video below this, so make sure to check those out after you finish this, or pause it right now and check it out. Okay, both of them are free. The second thing you're going to need is not going to be more profiles. And by the way, if you need more in-depth information on how to build something like this, I'm using a software called Multilogin, which I did a video on, several videos on, and there's also resources of where you can get those profiles if you need more profiles. Do not use your grandmas, do not use your sisters, do not use your moms, do not use your brothers. Just get profiles of your own. Okay, that is my best piece of advice. The second thing you will need today is solid fulfillment. Okay, now I have a combination of China suppliers and US suppliers, right? So usually what I do when I'm initially testing products, or once I go to scale something and the cost just does not make sense to bring over inventory, stock up here, and then ship out of the US warehouse, I use Titan 3PL. Okay, make sure to reference that I sent you. You should get hooked up, you should get priority access, you should get to skip the line and get approved sooner to actually get working with them. Okay, so make sure to check it out. And the second option would be, I have another US contact. I'll put their information in the link with this video as well. So once you identify something that is a winner and the cost and everything makes sense to scale the product out of the US, I strongly suggest you do it. It's going to help save you a lot of issues around the feedback score and, you know, pretty much anything bad with dropshipping, whether it be your merchant accounts or Shopify shutting you down. Okay, you will definitely want to bring inventory over to the US. Obviously, it needs to make financial sense. The cost logistics need to make sense, but that's what I would do. I would first test with a dedicated agent, private seller or private supplier, just like Titan 3PL, and then if it makes sense financially to bring that product over to the US, buy in bulk, stock up, do that, and you will see my contact in the link with the description. Okay, because without a solid supplier, someone you can rely on, right? So like Titan 3PL, for example, they have a new service I've been using that gets a lot of my orders out to my customer at their door within 10 to 12 days of ordering. Okay, it is awesome. It's called the virtual warehouse shipping method. I don't know what it actually means, but it works, and it works fast. So that's what I recommend when it comes to suppliers, is you want to start testing out of China. It just makes more sense instead of buying a bunch of stock unless you're committing to something as a brand from day one, which I don't recommend you do unless you already have that as your plan. Okay, and then when the time comes and it financially and logistically makes sense, bring your inventory over to the US, stock up here, work with either the one I recommend in the description or another one that you might find as well. Okay. The third thing you're going to need is going to be a merchant, okay? Stripe, Shopify payments are excellent places to start. Everyone should. You should at least build those accounts as a starting ground. You'll need some history with those accounts usually anyway if you want to get approved with a better merchant. The one I'm going to recommend is CC Accept. I've been using these guys for years. I've had basically next to no issues. I've had a couple of things around additional charges with Visa or MasterCard or whatever it may be, but the merchant itself, the structure that they put me in place with, I've had next to no issues. It's been awesome. All right, you can't avoid some issues and some fees. That's always going to come down from the banks themselves or from the credit card processing companies such as Visa, MasterCard, American Express. Okay, you can't always win those battles if you do have issues, but the thing is, having a merchant like this is going to set you up for the long run. They will get you approved with banks that are okay with a slightly higher than average chargeback rate, because something like Stripe is going to shut you down. If you start seeing your chargeback percentage go 2%, 3%, 5%, right? They will put a hold on your money and you might even lose the account practically overnight, okay? Really just depends. It's case by case, and a lot of it has to come down to do with the history of you and the actual merchant, and then also the merchant's ability to work with you through the issues, okay? So Shopify payments is pretty solid, but establish your Shopify payments, build good history there, build good history with your Stripe account, and then move over to a guy like to guys like CC Accept, like you see here. I'm one of their preferred partners. They'll hook you up right away, no upfront fees or anything, at least at the time that I'm filming this video. And if you go down here, e-commerce walls right here, and go and fill out this form, and they will take excellent care of you. Yes, this is an affiliate link. I'm going to be very transparent with you. So if you want to just skip me and cut me out of the process, maybe you hate my videos, totally cool. I recommend them one way or another, whether you use my link or not. The next thing you're going to need is going to be killer creatives, okay? And could you make these yourselves? Absolutely, but I wouldn't recommend it unless you have a ton of time on your hands and or this is your skill set. It's not mine. I've always hated this part, but this is super, super important. You can cut your costs to get someone to your store by 30%, 50%, 70% compared to what you're starting with. If you have someone that knows how to make the right kinds of videos to sell the click, to really get the benefits and the pain points across in a short 30 to 60 second video. So what I recommend you do is you start with something like Upwork, like you see here on my computer, okay? And with Upwork, you can make a simple job posting where you say, like here, I just made these today, and I already have 9 applications for my media buyer, 18 for new video editor, because we're expanding our team, and then also I'm having someone search for influencers to manage that part of our business to generate more creative and content, okay? So the thing I'm mentioning here, all these kind of go hand in hand, right? But honestly, having a good video creator is super, super important. I recommend you start with 2 to 3 people because you'll get different styles from each person, all right? And a good way to interview, because a lot of people say, I don't know how much to pay them, I don't know where to start. Well, first of all, don't pay by the hour, pay by the project. So you gotta figure out what it's worth to you. Videos are easily worth, a good video is easily worth 10, 15, 20, $30 to me, maybe more, okay? Depending on how much I trust the actual video editor and how the quality of the work too. So what I recommend you do, and this is what I've done myself, I've had a ton of success with, I've actually found some of my best employees this way, is to give them a simple test, okay? So what I recommend you do is you write something like, looking for e-commerce dropshipping video ad creator. And then what you're gonna say is, brief overview of what the job is, what they're gonna be doing, and then how to apply, super important. Say, in the description, this is exactly what I do. I say, looking for a video editor that can do blank, blank, blank. To apply for this position, what you need to do is to create a video of this specific product. Give them a link to an AliExpress product, make them work for it, and then tell them to leave the watermark on there, and then say if they are hired, they will get paid for that video and they'll get the job as well, right? The cool thing about this is, you weed out people that are not serious. People are like, oh, I demand you pay me for a sample work so I can prove my worth. I don't want to do that. I want people that are hungry, excited, willing to work, and skilled, or at least have a good attitude at the very least, okay? So this is cool. Like obviously you would find some great people too if you just look at their portfolio, but I think this is cool because it shows a lot about attitude. I'm a big fan of attitude. If someone has a good attitude to learn, to be coachable, to go the extra mile, if they do that for a job interview, which there's no guarantee, you should expect them to absolutely do that for your business if you know how to coach and lead people. Okay, so put the task up to a few people. You'll get all different, you know, ranges of quality with the videos that you get, which is great because you pick the one, not only maybe the impression they leave on you and their message or however they communicate with you, but obviously the quality of the work too, most importantly. Okay, that's how I recommend you do it. Easiest for your creative director because they can actually show you a tangible, right? Whereas like a media buyer, it's gonna be a little harder, it's gonna be a little more complicated. You just gotta make sure they know what to do and you can just check their work when it comes to setting up campaigns and stuff like that. The next thing you will need is a solid product, okay? You know, everything leading up to this absolutely matters. This really goes hand in hand with the creative, you know, but the funny thing is you could get a average creative to sell a great product if people really want it, okay? So just know that you definitely need great creatives, but having a killer product is everything. A good way to start is just to use something like AdSpy. I'll include a link to the description with this video. Yes, it is an affiliate link. You could skip it if you want, totally up to you. And you will get hooked up if you do choose to use my link. But for something like AdSpy, there's many tools out there. If you just Google search product research spy tool, right, for Shopify, you'll find Dropshipping, Spy, I think it is. There's a whole bunch. I use this. This is basically all I use. This is what I'm recommending to you. You want to look at the last week to start. I've made videos on this before, so I'm not going to go in depth. But you got to engage where, let's say we want to see how much engagement is on the ad. It doesn't tell us everything, but it does tell us people have some interest, unless they're just running page post engagement ads and just buying engagement, which could be the reality. But nonetheless, this should give you a starting point. Okay, I bet we're gonna find a dropshipper here any second now. Oh, this is an old tool. But, oh, well this is a brand. But yeah, I mean, if you just watch my other videos on how this actually applies, this is definitely dropshipper right here. Kind of cool too. I've seen this product a million times, but nonetheless, like that would be a product I would consider running because look at that engagement. They probably bought a lot of it, but nonetheless, people are engaging. Okay, and the product is pretty cool. The video is really good. So having a killer product, this video is not about product research, but that is probably the most important thing out of all of this. Obviously, every piece of this matters if you want to be able to run and scale on Facebook and in dropshipping in general. But the product is what matters at the end of the day. If you're selling something, if you're selling trash, you're going to get trash results, right? If you are selling a quality product that people actually want, everything else will be enhanced by that, okay? People are like, how can I be profitable with my advertising? Well, first of all, make sure you're selling things that people actually want. That is the most important thing about all of this. The last thing you need is a simple strategy that gets you the results you want. And the cool thing is, you know, as Facebook and YouTube have exploded, especially during the pandemic, you're gonna find that there are a ton of great resources on YouTube floating around about how to build a store, how to increase conversion rate. Probably not enough about that. That's a great topic, actually. How to find winning products. But more importantly, this is about ad strategy and then also the store setup. And the cool thing is there are a lot of really good resources. So let me pick out a few here. I've never met any of these guys, but Beast2Becom, I like his videos. He puts out some good information. If we look at, I'm a big fan of KingCom. He literally puts out like free courses. So check it out. He's awesome. And then Jordan Walsh gives some good tips. And I think, let's see if we can find one more. Let's see. Bia has as a hype man. He's kind of cool though. He's a hustler. And I would say this guy puts out some decent videos. Good videos actually. And this guy puts out a lot of really good content. Noah Brewer, so check him out as well. And then, oh, e-commerce wolves. What do you know? Check these guys out too. I hear they got pretty good videos. Their channel's not huge, but you know, they put out some good stuff. So that is it for my top tips on how to succeed, how to win in dropshipping and e-commerce in 2021. I can promise you, if you even apply all of these things, because they're all essential, you will absolutely win this year in dropshipping. You will be the person that is separated from those that are unable to even advertise on Facebook because they don't know how to manage their ad accounts, their business managers, their profiles, how to pick good products. This is going to separate you from the competition. So put every tip I've given you here to use. Not one of them will make you successful. All of them in combination will give you an opportunity. And of course, make sure to like, subscribe, and comment, and grab some of our free resources below this video on all those awesome affiliate links I gave you, but also the free guide, free information around how to work around the Facebook bans, the restricted profiles, the disabled ad accounts. So this is the #1 problem facing everyone that's advertising on Facebook today, all right? Until next time, enjoy the video. I'll see you on the next one.